Hello and welcome to my video today. My name is Henry Smith from IamWealthyandRich.com. Thanks very much for joining me. If you're new to this channel, this is about wealth creation in action, where I'm developing, just growing and monitoring really a portfolio, an investment portfolio, and monitoring on a day-to-day basis to create a future case study and showing up every day and recording the figures. Whether they be up or down, it doesn't really matter. The choices and decisions have already been made, so you get to see that, and also the attitudes that go along with, having and running a portfolio in the cryptocurrency space. So the cryptocurrency investment or digital asset investment space is what I'm involved in. And for those of you who have been watching the videos, thanks very much for watching this series. And this was started a year ago, this portfolio, in May 2020, and we're currently a year in. Although I didn't start documenting it until February 2021. So it was only a few months ago that I started documenting it because, well, I didn't start it with the intention of documenting it, but I just thought of somewhere along the line would be a good idea. So I've started and been recording, then I started video recording my documentation. And so that's where we are today. Now, I've always said there are two sides of this game. There's the mindset, which is very important, and the right investment strategy. You need them both. If you've got both, you've got a winner combination. And also, before I go any further, I have to do the disclaimer. So I'm not a financial planner or financial advisor. I'm not an accountant or CPA or tax advisor, anything like that. So do your own research, do your own due diligence, and also always understand that all investments carry a degree of risk. So make sure you do not invest more than you can afford to lose. But I'm really just documenting my own experience. So I'm not giving you financial advice here. So what I usually do is around this time to share my screen and update the figures of today. So let's go. So this is a spreadsheet that I have been using since the 1st of February. And I started from very humble beginnings, and it grew to 6 figures by the end of January, or should I say 1st of February 2021, 106,000. And then I started updating the figures here on a daily basis. And we have 3 columns here. We have what we call the altcoin column, the Bitcoin column, and the overall column of portfolio. So my job, this is the most important column to me. And as you see, we have when it goes forward on the previous day, we color that in red, in green. When it goes backwards on the previous day, we color that in red. So that's why we have the reds and the greens. And as you can see, we go forward, several days, and then we're going to go backward a few days. That's just the nature of the market. And within the cryptocurrency markets, is even more prevalent because prevalent, should I say? Because the market's alive. It's alive. It's a young market. It's alive. So there are these movements that happen, and we just have to learn to accept them and live with them. We can get some wonderful 7-day, 8-day, 9-day runs, and then we go back a few days, and so on and so forth. So in some ways, it's very predictable. In a lot of ways, it's very predictable. Although one doesn't know exactly what the degree is going to fall back on or go forward on a day-to-day basis. But a certain pattern starts to emerge, as you can see, after a while. And the Bitcoin column, I didn't want to put it in, but I decided to put it in because it was just missing. But I don't really use this much. It's really the overall pattern, which is the more important one to me. So here we are today on the 15th of May, 2021. I'm going to enter today's figures. So the 15th of May, I go to this page here and get my figures, which consist of, this is the portfolio, comes into a live feed, which is updated every 10 or so minutes. into a portfolio, then the final figures come here. And this particular portfolio consists of one whole Bitcoin. So at the moment, Bitcoin is around $49,268, or at least within the last 10 minutes. That was its price. And the altcoins. Altcoins are anything other than Bitcoin, so selection of alternative coins, otherwise known as altcoins. And that's what they are, the combination of them are right now. And at the moment, you know, the mix changes, you know, to 18, this is very interesting, 1882 spread. Sometimes it's a 20-80 spread, 80-20 spread. I expect as time goes on, you may see it go down to even 10 and 90 spread. But when I actually initially put it in, it was more like 25%, 30%, sorry, 25%, 75% spread. That is how it started. Okay, and based on the right-hand side here is a pounds equivalent. So the same portfolio, but just in GBP, Great British Pounds. So that's what this is here. So one Bitcoin at the moment is around 35,662 pounds. So let's take this figure here, 219,167. 219,167. What was that? 54. Right. So 219,167.64, I think. Okay, that right? Yep. 219,167.64. Okay. That's a little lower than yesterday, just 1,000 or so, but we've got to color that in red because that's lower. So down a little bit. And this figure here is 268. 268,431.42. 268,431.42. Just say, confirm that. 431.42. 431.42. That's correct, and that is down yesterday, I believe. 5,000, 2,000. Okay. So, and yeah, it automatically reports Bitcoin's pricing. That's Bitcoin down upon yesterday by 970, which is okay. So that's all good. So that's the figures of today. Just like to bold that. Don't know why, but yeah. So I'm bolding that. Click save, and I'll do the same tomorrow. So, like I said, it's very interesting watching the markets. Just, you know, they're very predictable. And one thing I like to say, you know, whenever there's an expansion, there's always a contraction afterwards. Whenever there's a contraction, there's always an expansion. So you've got to have the right mindset. You know, they say, although I'm not a trader per se, like an everyday trader, they have to have a very steady mindset. But you know, you've got to have, one of the biggest problems that affect people, in anyone who looks at markets that move a lot, is emotion. And you can't use emotion. You've got to use some kind of formula or logic, some kind of logic strategy, should I say, of when to get in, when to get out, and so on and so forth. Or if you're getting out, you know, just to understand, it depends on how long you're holding it for. You know, you only lose when you sell. So, especially if you hold a superior cryptocurrency, it will always continue to go up. And if it goes down, you simply just hold it until it goes back up. But if you want the short-term gains, then you need to know when to get out. The shorter gains you want, it's more, you've got to get out in and out a lot faster, the more speculative it is. But when you zoom out, there's only one picture, which is up. You know, yes, you can lose money on Bitcoin if you go in and out of it at the wrong time. But if you've held it for 4 years or more, no one has ever lost money who has held Bitcoin for 4 years or more. If you hold Bitcoin for less than a year, you're in it for the wrong reasons, and you're looking at it in the wrong way. And everyone's entitled to look at Bitcoin the way they want to look at it. You know, some people see it just as a short-term speculation. You want to get in, get out in 2 weeks, and make a percentage, and that's the way they want to look at it. Full stop. Period. But others want to look at it as a long-term asset, okay, a treasury-based asset. And a treasury-based asset you don't look at on a 2 week, 3 week, 3 months, or 1 year level. You hold it for years because it's underpinning, okay, the financial security of your wealth structure, whether it be a corporate or your family empire. So you don't jump in and out of it, you know, especially when you understand what's happening. So and there's so many. The challenge with cryptocurrency is because it's new, and it's gone through a new evolution, a new upswing, just like the internet went through. There's a lot of opinions on the internet, a lot, and I do listen to a lot of them. But if you don't have a good fundamental understanding of the way this industry is going, you can be swayed by this person and that person. Like I said in a while, you either stand for something. Previous video I said, you either stand for something or you fall for anything. You either stand for something or you fall for anything. So don't just go by the whims and emotions of what's being blown around the internet and Twitter and different social media platforms, and make decisions and judgments based on that. You know, make sure you're locked in with an organization that knows where they're going, and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. If you're doing this for a get-rich-quick thing, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. If you're doing it for long-term financial wealth, then great, you're on the right track. Okay, so that's a very important thing. The other thing is having a wealth and prosperity mindset. Developing a wealth and prosperity mindset. You don't just have one by just saying, okay, I'll have one. It's not like wearing a jacket. You actually have to develop it, like developing muscles. You know, I'll have a six-pack, please. No, you actually have to work hard and develop it, if that's what you want. But in terms of a wealth and prosperity mindset, if you definitely need that, it's not optional. You definitely need that if you want to develop long-term wealth. And that takes time to develop. And there are strategies and techniques to teach you how to do that, which I give away for free, and which I'll show you how to get hold of them in a minute. But that's something you definitely want to do, because it makes the world of difference in your journey. Because this is a journey, and how, you know, people can have 2 people or 3 people can be on the same journey, and all their experience on the journey can be completely different, depending on how their mindset. Okay, so you can go, your journey can be very bumpy, very, very turbulent, or it can be very smooth, depending on what's going on in between these 2 ears of yours, what's in between those 2 ears. And so you've got to get that in shape, in order. The strategy, investment strategy, it's not something you literally need to work on, because we created one for you, and we have a basic one and a more advanced one. And the basic one anyone can get hold of. If you want the more advanced one, which involves the altcoins, you can get hold of us to get onto one of our webinars, and then I'll show you how to get hold of that information. So the strategy, you know, basically everything is really taken care of. The mindset training and the strategy actually created a platform for you to take advantage and to implement these two, both of them. But the rest is up to you. You have to show up. We can't do it for you. Just like, you know, a personal trainer can't exercise your body. You have to exercise yourself. Let's show you what to do. So I'm happy to give you direction as to what's working for me and others that are working within our system. And, you know, if you want to take advantage of it, I highly encourage you. One thing I just want to mention, you know, BTC is the foundation of this cryptocurrency, and there are other great cryptocurrencies that are correlated to it. Okay, but BTC when BTC sneezes, they all tend to react. So there's definitely a correlation in what in BTC. But you need to understand what's happening with BTC, because BTC is going through some dramatic changes over the next several months, because of the fundamental thing that drives Bitcoin is supply and demand. Supply and demand. I mean, there are other things, but supply and demand that drives the price is what I'm trying to say. The fundamental thing that drives the price of Bitcoin is supply and demand. And if there's 3 times more demand than there's supply, then it's great. It's going to go up. And if the supply is so much, and it's predictable, it's like so much, it will be so much supply coming to the market over a period of time, one can kind of predict the prices roughly. There are also going to be some hiccups and sneezes along the way as various things happen. Then things go back in course again. However, once in a while there are some devastating, life-changing, mega events that happen that can really make a significant change. And some of these changes are going to be happening over the next several months in the BTC. It's not been mentioned in the news media yet, okay? But the supply is going to be dramatically affected, much more than what was conventionally predicted. See, I'm going to be very careful what I say here. Okay, so the supply is controlled by the halving, or halving as people call it, every 4 years, and as the amount of Bitcoin being pumped into the market supply every day is halved. So before the previous halving, which was last May 2020, it was 1,800 Bitcoins being pumped into the market supply every day. Before that, it was like 3,600 Bitcoins. Before that, it was like 7,200 Bitcoins being pumped into the market. Then it was cut down to 3,200 Bitcoin, 3,600. Now it was cut down to 1,800. Now it's cut down to 900 Bitcoins being pumped into the market every day. Okay, and there's demand that's gobbling them up. You've got supply and demand. I'm not going to do any of my drawings right now, just my hands. So you've got supply on, and then you've got demand to meet that, to capture that. And where they meet is where the price is. Okay, and like I said, in the next halving, which is 2024, the supply will be cut in half again. That's why it's so amazing in terms of the science of the supply and demand 101. So we only be 224, no, will be 450 Bitcoins being pumped into the market, but the demand would be even greater. So the price is going to go up. And then in 2028, it cut down even more to 225 Bitcoins being supplied, and then the demand will be still bigger. So the price will just keep going up. But what if that prediction of the supply predictably going down was interrupted, and instead of like I said, 900 going into the marketplace, or 450 going into the marketplace every day, what if it was taken down to 0? I want to think of that. And the demand was still there and still growing. That can really affect the price upwards faster. Okay, so be aware of that. That's happening as we speak. Okay, it's not a theory. It's not a hypothesis, by the way. It's a theory, and it's nothing to do with the Bitcoin as a code. The code in Bitcoin changing. That's not going to change. The halving will still take place, but there are things being put in place right now where the supply is going to be gobbled up before it even gets to market. Gobbled up. And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. What will happen, I don't know. Remain to be seen. I mean, obviously, common sense, the law of supply and demand, is the price would go up even more. Okay, but it would be, what Bitcoin will become harder to purchase. It just become more expensive because there'll be less available. There'll be less available for the everyday investor to purchase, and that time is coming pretty soon. Pretty soon. So this is not the time to dilly-dally around accumulating Bitcoin. And there are strategies in I used to have a little rocket spaceship that I put up, which shows you the proportion to propel you forward. You can use a certain percentage of Bitcoin, a certain percentage of altcoins, because altcoins actually give you a lot more bang for your buck very quickly, so you can invest that money back into Bitcoin, so you can build your Bitcoin stash faster. You want to be really considering taking advantage of those strategies. Okay, but most people only understand things after the fact. Okay, but understand this is what's coming to the market. I'm not going into specific details here, but I will for those guys in our mastermind group. But so yeah, take this opportunity seriously. This is a once in a lifetime period. This period will not come back again. Okay, it will not come back again. So understand that if you're we've got, like I said, we've got a strategy. In fact, I should just take you to the website, show you where you can get hold of the first part of the strategy. www.IamWealthyandRich.com. Okay, the I'm Wealthy and Rich, how to understand the game of money and play it well. You scroll down here and take advantage of this form right here. Get your millionaire mindset and investment strategy free, and then apply the exercises that I teach you in the mindset training, and then the basic fundamentals of the investment strategy. And then, like I said, contact us to get on to the webinar to find out more about the advanced strategy with the altcoins and so on, and you'll be well on your way. Okay, so that's IamWealthyandRich.com, and the link should be below the video. Just click on that link and go to the website and start your journey. Now, I'll come to the end of this video. I just want to thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Before you go, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button of this video so it can be shared more. And thanks very much for listening, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next video. Have a wonderful and fantastic day. Bye.